Hello, and welcome to this e-tutorial on how to complete the DD Form 137-6 or Dependency Statement Full-Time Student 21 to 22 years of age. The DD Form 137-6 determines the relationship and dependency of the claimed dependents and the member's entitlement to authorized benefits on behalf of a full-time student 21 to 22 years old. The 15 sections of the form must be completed. If any question does not apply to your situation, please write NA in that block. Forms with incomplete answers or unfilled boxes cannot be processed. The terms member and sponsor are used interchangeably on this form. This e-tutorial uses the term member. The Navy does not currently use this form. Please see your PSD regarding eligibility for college students. Before you fill out the form, please read the instructions and notes provided in the instructions box. Note that the member must complete blocks 1 and 15. The member, student, or student's custodian will complete blocks 2 through 14 and have the form notarized. A verification enrollment letter is required. The letter must be on school letterhead and include the school's name and address, the student's status, full or part-time, the projected graduation date, and the school's official stamp. Remember to report and verify income and gross amounts where requested. Proof of member's contribution consisting of dependent support allotments, canceled checks, copies of money order receipts, etc. is required. Block 1A. Please place an X on each entitlement you are requesting. For our purposes, BA is Basic Allowance for Housing and USIP card is Uniform Services Identification and Privilege Card or ID card. The Secondary Dependency Office of your branch of service will verify your eligibility for the requested entitlements as set forth by Congress. Next, answer Block 1B. If this is your first application for secondary dependency for this dependent, mark yes. If this is not your first application, please mark no and provide the date of your last application. In Block 1C, indicate whether your previous claim was approved or disapproved. Block 2, Member Information, asks for the member's name, social security number, current or final rank held, and status or component. Block 2E asks for the member's current residence address, and 2F asks for the complete military unit address if the member is on active duty. If the member is now retired, please write NA. Please provide current information in Block 2. The Secondary Dependency Office uses the information in these boxes to communicate with the member when more evidence or clarification is needed to complete the claim. Please provide good, working telephone numbers, an email address if applicable, and the member's marital status. Block 3. Student. Request information for the claimed student. This section is only for the child that is being claimed. In Block 4, Child's School Information, please complete blocks A through E. Block 5, Student's Other Parents, asks you to list any other parent's information, including step-parents. If another parent is in any branch of service, including Reserve or National Guard, please complete blocks 5C and D. Block 6, Student's Residence, asks you to describe the student's residence. In Blocks 6A and B, provide the student's address while at school and the type of residence. In Blocks C and D, provide the address and type of residence where the student lives, in excess of 90 days, while not at school. In Block 7, Persons living in household with child, please list all persons who live in the household with the child, including the claimed child. If the person is employed, show average number of hours worked per week. This section cannot be blank, even if the claimed child and the parent are the only people in the household. Remember, please use NA for fields with no information. Block 8, Household Expenses, may be confusing. Errors in this block often cause form rejections. In this block, list all expenses for all persons living in the home, not just the claimed dependent's share for the past 12 months. If the child lives in the residence with the member or a home owned by the member, use fair rental value for the entire dwelling. If child does not reside in member's household or in a dwelling owned by a member, list actual mortgage, rent, or fair rental value if dwelling is mortgage-free. If fair rental value, the amount an owner could reasonably expect to receive from a stranger to rent the dwelling, is used, Please provide an explanation as to how the fair rental value was determined in the remarks. Block 14. DFAS requires the full amount of each expense to be listed for accuracy. For detailed information regarding what type of expense may be claimed in each box of the section, please refer to our webpage, www.dfas.mil/military members/pay and entitlements/secondary dependency. In Block 9, Student Personal Expenses, note all expenses of the claimed child regardless of who pays for them. These amounts should not include personal items for the member, only the dependents being claimed. For additional information on what should be included, please see the Expenses Breakdown worksheet by clicking on the link for the Members Branch of Service at www.dfas.mil/military members/secondary dependency/sdc.html. Block 10. Students' School Expenses. Please list all of the students' school expenses even if covered by scholarship, grant, or other financial aid. These amounts must be entered based on a monthly basis, not quarterly or yearly. In Block 11, Students' Income, list all gross income received by the child only, whether taxable or non-taxable, and whether received monthly, quarterly, or yearly. This includes any income the student receives as scholarships or grants, or 9/11 GI Bill benefits transferred to the child. If any income received during the past 12 months was a lump sum or one-time payment, be sure to state this. Remember, do not list member income on the child income section, otherwise an incorrect or negative determination may be made based on the information submitted. Block 12, Students' Employment. Is the claimed child currently employed or have they been employed during the past 12 months? Please complete the employment information asked in this section. If the child did not hold a job during the past 12 months, please mark No in the checkbox. Block 13, Members' Contribution, asks for the members' contributions directly related to the claimed child over the past 12 months. Recertification requests require the full 12 months to be filled in. First requests only require the current month's contribution. For service members requesting BAW on behalf of the child, the Joint Federal Travel Regulation, JFTR, Chapter 10, which regulates BAW, requires proof of support to the claimed child. Without proof of support, we must reject your claim. Acceptable forms of proof of support include AD, a discretionary allotment on your LES, canceled checks, money order receipts, and Western Union transfers made out to the claimed dependent or claimed dependent's custodian. Joint checking accounts, cash contributions, or purchase receipts are not acceptable forms of proof of support. Copies of bills paid on behalf of the dependent may also be used as long as proof of payment can be provided. Block 14 Remarks. Please use this section to add additional information for any of the sections on this form. Please annotate which response you are adding information for at the beginning of each entry. On Section 15, Signatures, please make sure all signatures are signed and dated in the presence of a notary public. All forms with notary blocks must be notarized. Failure to have the documents notarized will result in return of the application without action. The custodian signature relates to the signature of the person who has physical custody of the child, whether that is the member or another person. As explained in the beginning of this e-tutorial, the member must sign and date the DD Form 137-6 on Section 15C unless the member is not available due to the necessity of military service when the forms were completed. In this case, a copy of a general or financial power of attorney is required. Thank you for watching this e-tutorial on how to complete the DD Form 137-6 Dependency Statement, Full-Time Student 21 to 22 years of age. Additional resources, information, and links to forms are available online at www.dfas.mil/military members/secondary dependency/sdc.html.